Hey everybody, it is LSID932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. This is episode 6 of All's Fair. Another good episode. Okay, I think we're building up on stuff. They should have named this Pandora's Box because it all is about Alora, Kim K's character, her divorce proceedings, and how that is all settled from her husband Chase, who's been cheating, community property around town. So let's get into it. So, Carr and her client, which is Chase, Aurora's soon-to-be ex-husband, they talk the divorce with Alora, and she talks to him before they even walk in, and keeps saying his hair looks absolutely atrocious. You know, all this grease he got in it, he got to fix it up. She put some dry shampoo in it, and I was just like, lady, you're already there at the law firm in another room. They can see how he walked in. But anyway, she quoted Maya Angelou, and he was like, who? And I said, ooh, dear, no. She reminds him or tells him, Maya Angelou professes that, you know, no matter what you do or say, people aren't going to remember those words. They are going to remember how you make them feel. So she warns him that who cries first and gets the judge's emotions, then the judge will kind of like be on their side. So if you get your tissue first, you win. And that he is the victim here, and he's tried all that he can to make the marriage work, and his wife is the problem. He said, you know, he can't make himself cry, so she gives him a napkin, and he wipes on his eyes, and he's like, what the heck is that? She said, wasabi, hot sauce, you know, to help you with your crying. So Carr and her partner, which we find out is a lawyer named Stone, they sit across from Glenn Close and Kim K in that wonderful conference room that they always do their litigations. And Carr and partner try to butter up to the judge. Oh, judge, you're looking so good. How do you keep doing this? Oh, my word, lovely to see you. And Glenn Close is like, while they are finished, you know, massaging your derriere, can we get on with this? Okay? While they're talking back and forth, Chan sends a text to Alora, Kim K's character, across the table. And he's shocked when she doesn't respond to his message of, you look hot. Okay, Chase, a little juvenile? Maybe. I thought Alora would have shown it to Glenn Close's character. Okay, I thought Kim K would have shown it to Glenn Close, like, look what he's doing. Niecy Nash comes in later on, and she apologizes while handing Glenn Close a folder. Nobody knows what's in the folder, okay? Just Niecy Nash and Glenn Close, who decides to just set it aside. The judge said if mediation does not work, then there will be a trial. And he advises them, you know, to just sit and talk. Talk to each other before we get into everything. Because sometimes y'all remember what it was like. So Chan speaks first after Carr kicks him under the table. He talks of how they met, how he saw a ray of sunshine, what she was wearing, the color, all of that, and he cries. Now, Kim K, Alora, also has an emotional reaction, and she walks out. She goes to the bathroom crying. Glenn Close comes in there and say, hey, you know, take a moment. You know, lawyers are the worst clients. But hey, you need to get out here and we need to go in there and do this thing. Kim K said, hey, it is her cycle. It has come on. That means the embryos did not take. So Glenn Close says, you can be charged with destruction of property, destruction of communal property. And she should have told her earlier, and she's like, to have you as an accessory? No, thank you. But she did want the kids because it was Chase's kids. It'll be a little different if we froze eggs instead of embryos. Remember, y'all, okay? Kim K goes back in the room, and the judge is giving her a chance to speak. She spoke of the future, that she has to grieve because she cannot have it with him anymore, because he was the best thing for her. And Chase starts to cry again. And his lawyer, Carr, was like, dude, you were supposed to cry only in your section. Now you done gave her the power because you crying over hers, okay? So the judge calls in a recess, and Carr and her partner chastise Chase because Chase says he wants to go back in there and give Alora, Kim K, whatever she wants. And they're like, heck no, we are not doing that. We are not going to just give up. He's like, well, I'm the one who cheated. I'm the one who fooled around. And they're like, and so what? We don't care. So they're saying they will challenge the prenup without challenging it. And they tell him get his head in the game, because whoever challenges the prenup, they run the risk of losing. So they re-enter the room and they discuss the prenup. In this case, Kim K talks about, the scholarships that she provides for high school from her alma mater. It was in her father's name as well, and she started it because of her own schooling there. So apparently, her mother sent her away to a reform school. She only spent the last 2 years of high school there. Her mother had sent her away, and she was subjected to horrors. Y'all, I'm not going to list it out. It was a horrific experience for her at an all-girls, I guess, correctional facility to reform young ladies, and she experienced horrors. And she said she was rescued by her father, but he always felt guilty about her being sent there. Now, Stone, Carr's partner, asked her about the school and if the kids from the school ever got the scholarships. The kids from the reform school. And Kim K said no, because she bought the school and shut it down. Kim K accuses Stone of knowing this. She's like, of course you know this already. She's like, well, how would I? I'm just asking now. We see you, Stone. We see you, okay? But she says, Stone, Carr's partner, says, I noticed that asset is not listed here. The judge asked for a sidebar. He says, Kim K, Glenn Close, Niecy Nash, y'all first. We're going to talk about this. And Glenn Close chews into Alora Kim K's character. Chews into her. You ought to disclose all assets in a prenup. All of them. And Niecy Nash say, and if you don't, you need to get me to hide it better for you. And the judge is like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. She's like, I'm just kidding, Judge. And then Niecy looks at Alora and said, I'm not kidding. So though Glenn Close mentioned this would not change the marriage, and the signing of the prenup, the judge said there's concern there that there may be other things being hidden. So while meeting with Carr and Stone and Chase, the judge, sees through their tactics. He's like, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to challenge a prenup without challenging it. So Carr tells the judge, hey, you better rule in our favor or else her firm will stop sending him business. He said, I don't take kindly to blackmail. She's like, I'm not blackmailing you. I'm threatening you. Get it right. I said, daggone it, Carr. Carr, could we stop for a moment? Could we stop? We're threatening a judge and you are in a meeting room that could be bugged. I'm sorry. So they all get back together and the judge gives his assessment, saying failure to disclose could cause, setting aside the prenup if this goes to trial. Glenn Close jumps up and like, judge is like, let me finish. He said, we will proceed here as if there is no prenup and see how it works. Now, Carr is celebrating. Carr goes outside to smoke. Her partner, Stone, walks up to her to rejoice that it was set aside. And Carr realizes that, for all the friendship she thought she had with Kim K and was in her inner circle, that it hurt her because she never realized what she went through growing up. She never realized that was part of Alora Kim K's past. So she feels like she was left out in the cold then, and she's still out in the cold. But she says teaming up with Stone is the best decision she has ever made. Glenn Close tells Niecy Nash that, not to stoop to Carr's level. Don't use this video that's illegally obtained. And I don't understand. Y'all will get when I get there. I don't understand how it was illegally obtained. But Niecy Nash says, when they go low, we go to hell. Glenn Close revisits how Niecy Nash was taken by Kim K and Naomi Watts' character and not Carr when she told them they can leave the firm. And she refuses to cause Carr any more pain. Okay, Glenn Close, I see you. You have class. So Chase does approach Kim K in the hallway, and he says he thinks it all makes sense as to who she is today based on what she went through. He does say, I'm sorry. And she cuts him off and say, hey, you don't say that in trial or at a law firm because it can be taken as an admission of guilt. So he tries to talk to her and caress her face, and she reminds him, hey, I'm the enemy and we are at war. Now Carr sets her demands when they reconvene. She says, hey, it's $1 million a month in alimony. Yikes. Properties and a huge share in the law firm, about 50%. So Carr goes on to say that Kim K will need science to make her become pregnant with child. And so the embryos too are being held up in this litigation. And she said, hey, you won't have kids otherwise. and she said some mean things. And oh my gosh, she went in on Alora Kim K's character and says if they don't agree, then the embryos will be destroyed within 48 hours. And it was astonishing, that scene, because it was two women talking to another woman who wants to be a mother, and they are talking about her fertility, and it was vicious. It was vicious. I'm surprised the judge didn't pull back and look at them like, ladies, can we have some decorum? It was nasty and vicious. But then again, remember, this is a show. This is not how lawyers, I'm hoping, would act around the judge and in mediation. Carr, takes pride in all of this. And Glenn Close sits here and says, hey, I do apologize for causing you pain. And Carr's like, okay, whatever. I accept your apology. And she didn't understand what was happening. But Kim K does disclose here that there are no embryos. And Carr feasts on this. Oh my word, we are going to take you to the cleaners. This is a felony. We are going to take all your assets in court. We're going to take all of this. And Carr is just chewing at the bit. Stone too looks like she's salivating like, oh, we got you now. We got you now, Alora Kim K. So Chase slams his hand and says, no, they won't. Because he's looking at Alora because he realizes this was her last chance to become a mother. The last thing she ever wanted was to become a mother. So he asks again, are the kids really gone? And then he says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of this. And he tells them, we're not doing this. Carr said, we'll take the firm. We're going to take the whole firm for this. And Chase says again, no, this all ends today. And I said, well played, Alora / Kim K. Well played, because she was playing Chase. She wasn't playing the two lawyers. She left that for Glenn Close and for Niecy Nash Betts. She was playing Chase, playing his emotion. You know you wronged me. You know you owe me. So I'm banking on you not telling anybody what happened, or I'm banking on you allowing this for me because you know how much I wanted a child. He wasn't going after her because he did so much wrong with her assistant, with people who worked at the stadium, Chase's community property. He knew he was wrong. So Glenn Close, though, gets a call and she runs out of the room. It's a call from the nurse, the hospice nurse that's taking care of her husband. So she has to rush home. Niecy Nash Betts has to take over the case. She's like, wait a minute. I'm not built for this. You hired Glenn Close. You ain't hired me. Okay, she doesn't feel like she could do it, but Glenn Close is like, you can, because I trained you. You ready for this? And Alora Kim K's like, yes, we ready. So Niecy Nash takes over and she said, we not playing nice when we go back in there, okay? If I'm running the show, we going to hell. I was like, daggone it, Niecy. But she does try to play it, on an elevated front of like Glenn Close wanted her to, okay? So Niecy said, if it goes to court, it will be tried in the press. And when the press tries it, it will come down to character. And y'all have been coming after Alora Kim K's character dirty and nasty all day with these games. But hey, you're not going to get any of the firm's assets. So she leads with her evidence. She's like, she leads with how he had a bad game, a specific bad game against a team. She's like, it kind of smelled funky because when you do the math of how he performs, this game is an anomaly. It smells like it was fixed for a gambling crew. Chase denies it immediately. Oh, no, she's lying. And Niecy Nash Betts is like, oh, but why would he do that? Because he's a card shark. He been playing games with this gambling crew leader. And they exchange emails. And she showed the emails where he's like, what do I got to do to get my entire debt forgiven? Stone is uncomfortable. And the judge is like, well, wait a minute, but this is inadmissible because of how you got it. She's like, how I got it, it ain't tricking if you got it. I got it because my client, the wife, still has access to his emails. So that's how we got it. We didn't bust on in there. He never changed his passwords. I mean, it is kind of gray area. It is kind of gray, but I ain't mad at her. Niecy Nash brings up that, she moves on, say he cheats. He does all these things, and this is why she does it, to expose men and men like him. And Carr brings up her photo shoot. The photo shoot from the previous episode where Niecy Nash Betts was physically assaulted, her character, and the guy took photos of it. And Cara says, even though you scrub the internet of it, it's still out there. Niecy Nash said, you know what? It's going to be over for you today, Cara. Cara's like, bring it on. She's like, okay. So this is where we go to hell, y'all. Niecy Nash Betts throws a video to this big screen in the room. And we see the police car footage of Cara when she was arrested for DUI. And Stone and Cara's like, the judge is like, let it play. Cara says, if she stayed and played between the sheets, she didn't say that. I'm being very nice. She was very crass in the back of that squad car. But if she had stayed and played between the sheets with her young, hot client, she would not have failed the sobriety test or get pulled over. The officer reminds her this is a recording. Cara cries in the video, to the officer that she needs a man. I need a man. Cara, in the present moment, is pissed off. She cusses them all clean out. She climbs over the table to turn the tablet off, grabs it out of Niecy Nash Betts' hand, and is telling them clean out. Y'all, I can't, of course, say what she said, okay? And I can't even play it in my shorts. It is wild. Then she crawls across the table. She walks actually across the table and kneels in Laura Kim K's face and screams at her, saying that she slept with her husband and the neighbors had to be calling. And Chase is like, no, never slept with her, never slept with her. And Chase tries to get her off the table countless times to no avail. Cara continues to cuss out Laura Kim K's character and says she's better than her, will always be better than her in every category, and cusses out the fact that she can't have kids and she's career obsessed. She went so far that her own partner, Stone, had to walk around the table behind Kim K and yell out, Cara, to get her to stop. Cara kind of comes to herself, and then she climbs off the table, grabs her stuff, and walks out. She goes to another room where she yells at folks to get out the room. Niecy Nash Betts walks in and says one word, settle. Settle, knowing that Chase does not deserve half of this law firm. But Cara said it wasn't for Chase, it was for herself. She wanted to watch it all crumble and fail so she can say she is definitely better. She's been doing this, she said, Cara says, all on her own. You don't understand. She's been doing motherhood. She has a daughter. She has a business. All of this, and Niecy Nash Betts would have no idea how hard her life is. And Niecy Nash Betts is like, pot, meet, kettle, because I'm doing it all on my own with 3 boys. But you remind me of myself. And she goes on, Niecy Nash Betts' character, to say, hey, she went to law school. And the rich girls in the sorority said that she wasn't a good fit for the sorority. And when she heard that, Niecy Nash Betts wanted to burn it all to the ground. But she just kept on living her life and proving those girls wrong. So she goes on to tell Cara, you do not need to try to destroy us to prove that you're just as good. Cara's like, not as good, better. Better. So Niecy Nash Betts states that, she does not want to use any of the evidence today, okay? And that she also has been inspired by Cara to be this tough. And offers like, hey, you can get what California law allows and make the offer to Chase. And she'll also make an offer that Cara can't refuse. And Cara's like, yeah, just suppress my video. Niecy's like, no. I'll also put in a good word for you, for your daughter at the new school. Because apparently, y'all, Niecy Nash Betts is on the board of the school. She's on the board for admissions. And she believes Cara's daughter will thrive there like her sons thrive there. So Cara's suspicious like I am. Like, why are you being nice? And this is where Laura Kim K walks in and says, cuz we had a part in what you became today. We should have taken you with us, but we couldn't have imagined the pain this would have caused. And it's time for it all to be over. Cara hugs Kim K. She jokes that, yeah, we couldn't have worked together. We would have clashed even on office design. But Cara does offer a 50-50 split of the assets as originally agreed on in the prenup. And if they discuss anything that she did here, like cry or hug, she will deny the conversation. Now, after Cara walks out, Niecy Nash Betts and Kim K hug to celebrate because this is what they wanted. We see Chase sitting on the stairs. It is nighttime now. The janitor is vacuuming, and he is just sitting in the lobby while it's dark. Kim K walks into the lobby from her office, and they stand there looking at each other. She puts her hand out to shake, and he does grab her hand, pull her in close, and kisses her. And I said, wait a minute, Chase, wait a minute. We can't be going frolicking in her office. She just said that today, Aunt Flo came to visit. I know y'all ain't gonna say, I know nothing can happen, or would it happen? I don't know. Okay, Chase. Okay. You heard. No, he didn't hear it. Really. He didn't hear. But she knows Aunt Flo is visiting. But she pulls away from him, y'all, and she is shocked. She looks at him and she is shocked that he would try this now. And when she walks away, he looks at her retreating figure in shock that she would even walk away. Next up, we see Glenn Close with her husband. She tells him, we had a good life, didn't we? We had a good ride in this life. She lays her hand on his chest. She lays her head on his shoulder while he is breathing his last. She does cry and caresses his face, hugs his face while, he has passed away. And that is the end of the episode, y'all. Please make sure that you do come back here for the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.